लाइफ में कितना भी पैसा कमा लो, कितना भी सक्सेसफुल हो जाओ, लेकिन अगर आपके रिश्ते सही नहीं है, then nothing of it really makes sense. Welcome to India's only podcast that talks about self-love and making your relationships better. Unleash the power of love with RAWR clips. Let's roar. You also spoke about love languages इसके previous conversation में. So what, like, people know what are love languages, like words of affirmation, as you said, giving gifts, spending quality time. How does this sort of come into your relationships?
Love languages हम कहाँ से सीखते हैं? From our childhood, right? Like the way we were loved or not loved, we start craving that as in our adult relationships also.
Yeah.
So love languages को use करना as a tool starts with you understanding your own love language. कि आपकी receiving love language क्या है और आपकी giving love language क्या है. It can be different.
Okay.
It can be the same also, it can be different also. Which means कि what do other people do, whether it's your friends or family, that makes you feel loved, makes you feel seen, right? ऐसा क्या है? तो स्टार्ट नोटिसिंग दिस इन योर अदर रिलेशनशिप्स. कि आपके मॉम डैड ऐसा क्या करते हैं जब आपको एकदम ही स्पेशल और गिडी फील होता है कि वाओ दे डिड दिस फॉर मी, राइट? और आपके फ्रेंड्स या योर सिबलिंग और हुएवर, राइट? एंड देन सी हाउ दैट शोज अप इन योर रिलेशनशिप.
ओके.
आपके रिलेशनशिप में भी व्हाट आर यू क्रेविंग मोर, यू नो? कितने रिलेशनशिप्स में ऐसा होता है दैट वन पर्सन वुड फील कि आई एम गिविंग बट द अदर पर्सन फील्स आई एम नॉट गेटिंग एनी लव. दैट्स बिकॉज दे माइट हैव वेरी डिफरेंट लव लैंग्वेजेस, राइट? फॉर सम पर्सन, फॉर समवन इट कुड बी गिफ्ट्स, राइट? एंड द अदर पर्सन इट्स नॉट एट ऑल. दे हैव नेवर seen gifts as a love language. So one person will keep getting, every time they come see you, they'll be like, oh, here's this thing is for you, this thing is for you, this thing is for you. But the other person's love language, let's say, is acts of service, right? They want to be taken care of instead of getting gifts, instead of getting something material. And you're not able to do that because you don't understand it. That's the gap, right? Eventually, after 6 months, 1 year, they'll reach a point where they'll be like, yeah, I'm not loved in this relationship. So instead of, I would say, if you have a healthy and a happy relationship, if this kind of you get to this kind of an impasse, try to see कहाँ पे gap आया हो, how can we bridge this gap. तो अब वो gap bridge करने के लिए भी ऐसा नहीं है कि आप अपनी love language change कर दोगे and I'll change mine and all of that.
बराबर है.
But can we meet midway? So for example, if my love language is words of affirmation, can I communicate that to you often or enough times that you get an idea कि okay, while this is out of my comfort zone, let me say something to her that may make her feel better.
Okay.
Right? Meeting midway. That's important.
Yeah. So maybe you like start doing those kind of things that maybe you would want to receive. And start showing it also to that other person that this is what I would.
This is what I like. You can, Yeah, you can set examples.
Yeah, exactly.
That, that brings me to this thing that people don't communicate in their relationships. Because they'll be like, अब मुझे सब कुछ बताना पड़ेगा क्या? But nobody is a mind reader, right? Your partner is not a mind reader, not a magician, not a mentalist. How would they know कि आपको चाहिए क्या? Until you communicate. So sometimes conflict के time पे तो आप करोगे ही communicate, but in happy times also sometimes just sit down and discuss. Oh, you know what? I feel loved when people do that for me. So I just wanted to let you know. As my partner, I think you should know.
Right? I think most women say कि उसको समझना चाहिए था, कि उसके दिमाग में ये आया ही नहीं. And I think it's so rightly said that, just say it out. It's a very simple thing and maybe he would just understand. Maybe it's not in his dictionary. Nobody's ever done that for him.
He's not seen it around maybe in his family or friends.
Exactly. So that is what women need to start talking about, what they're expecting in the relationship.
Absolutely.
And sort of communicating that. Okay.